Hello, my name is Olga Nestrova, known as Onest Press across the socials. Thank you for being here. In today's What's Actually True moment, we're going to talk about President Trump's travel to the Middle East. Today, Thursday, May 15th, is his last leg of the tour, which is in UAE. But I'm here to catch you up on everything that did happen before that. Now, first leg of the tour was in Saudi Arabia, where Trump was met with all the honors. He brought his cabinet with him. You see here Rubio and Bessent and Hexeth and Susie Wiles, everybody, Lutnick, everybody is here. Also with him, he brought the most known companies or CEOs of most known American companies, as you see here. We see, of course, Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. Also, Blackstone, BlackRock, IBM, Boeing, Google, Amazon, OpenAI, NVIDIA, Palantir, even Coca-Cola and Uber and Mayor of Miami, for some reason, was he selling real estate. And so just so you understand, this was literally the setting where Trump would be on one side, the Saudi officials on another, and the CEO of a particular company, and they're talking about deals. Now, all of that was then presented as investment in America. We're going to talk about that in a second. Now, we need to talk about the accommodations first. I went viral with this clip, 10 million views on Twitter shitter. No idea why, but first, Trump was granted this portable McDonald's. It's essentially an 18-wheeler that would serve him whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Take a look. Then he was served the tea that he then declined to drink. Take a look here. He is being served the tea, or this is coffee, actually. Apologies. Coffee with spices. And either he's afraid to drink something he doesn't know, or he's afraid to be poisoned, whatever the deal is, he declines to drink it. Then the clip is shown in Saudi Arabia where they used AI to show him as if he was actually drinking that coffee, but whatever. I could not verify that AI thing, so I'm not going to show it to you, but quite hilarious. Then as the first day proceeded, of course, we're in different time zone, but Trump appeared to just fall asleep.
Read a lot of the material now out of Saudi Arabia, and Mohammed bin Salman is saying we need a resolution.
Okay, now, then, of course, he delivered a speech. The setting was fabulous. Take a look here. I have a picture. So Saudi officials are there. Everybody who joined him from America, all the TV stations, everybody is showing this big speech. He began the big speech with the usual best hits. Biden bad, tariffs good, he is the greatest, he won every single swing state, it was all of it that never happened. Best hits, okay? So then he arrived at the moment where he started talking about the stocks, and then he started defending his manipulation of the stocks, if you will. Take a look.
In fact, I told people 5 weeks ago, this is a great time to buy. I got criticized for that. Now they don't criticize me anymore. People should have listened. But it's going to go a lot higher. You're going to see, we've never had anything like this happen. It's an explosion of investment and jobs, and great companies are coming in.
Okay. Then he started boosting or sort of talking really, really up high about the American economy, saying that our economy is the hottest. And then he looked at the Saudis and kind of reversed. Take a look.
And most importantly for the people in this room, the days of economic misery under the last administration are rapidly giving way to the greatest economy in the history of the world. We are rocking. The United States is the hottest country, with the exception of your country, I have to say, right?
And then he continued by saying, you are hotter. As long as I'm here, you're way hotter. Because, we want your money, honey. Now, the big news there was that Trump did announce that the United States will be lifting the sanctions against Syria, which was met with a standing ovation. As I put in my latest newsletter, which I really encourage you to read, it's free, it's very detailed, factual, so recommending. You see the links in the description of this episode, but also on the screen. So Trump surprised many by announcing that he was removing U.S. sanctions on Syria. As a result, crowds of people gathered in Syrian capital Damascus to celebrate the news that U.S. sanctions will be lifted. Trump briefly met Syria's new leader, Ahmed al-Shara, on the sidelines of Gulf Cooperation Council. That was the meeting on the next day that, of course, Trump did attend. And then Trump urged al-Shara to normalize ties with Israel after years of tensions. Now, Israel has opposed granting Syria sanctions relief and escalated its military presence in the country in the recent months. Syria's support for Palestinian statehood amid the ongoing Israel-Hamas war appears to have blocked any such move for now. Now, if we're speaking about GCC, who was there at that meeting? Saudi Arabia, of course, UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, and Trump departed then to Doha. After that, he traveled to Qatar. And here's, of course, the big discussion where Trump first was gifted, so to speak, the $400 million jet that he's about to use as Air Force One. Now, also about as much will be spent by Pentagon to equip the jet, right? Maybe debug it, so Trump can use it as Air Force One. When Trump is gone from the White House, then the jet will be gifted to his library. Not sure what library would need to use the jet for, but sort of it's a personal gift to Trump. Now, it is not free. We, American taxpayers, are spending on equipment and making sure that the jet can be used for Air Force One. And just so you understand, I was in President Biden's pool and sort of have a bit of an insight. Air Force One is the Oval Office, the Situation Room, the Cabinet Room, all at once in the air. So in order to, the cost of the jet itself is actually the least amount of spending, regardless how many golden cha-cha you're going to put in it, or swimming pool or sauna, whatever you want to do. But adding the equipment and security measures is what costs the most, literally. And it has to be safe. So let's see how that pans out. Now, in Qatar, right away as Trump arrived, accepted the gift, he delivered, he was talking to the Qatari leader and, of course, thanking him because that gift was amazing. Take a look.
I just want to thank you for everything, and maybe in particular our friendship. It's been a very loyal, great, beautiful friendship. And the job you've done is second to none. You look at this, it's so beautiful. As a construction person, I'm seeing perfect marble. This is what they call perfecto.
What they call perfecto. And speaking of gifts, here's a cool video comparing Trump's reaction to the jet and former President Obama reacting to the gifts to his government.
I could be a stupid person and say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane. We give free things out. We'll take one, too. So I think it's a great gesture from Qatar. I appreciate it very much. I would never be one to turn down that kind of an offer. I mean, I could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane. But I thought it was a great gesture.
I noticed a large travel case on the mantelpiece. I unsnapped the latches and lifted the top. On one side, there was a large desert scene on a marble base featuring miniature gold figurines, as well as a glass clock powered by changes in temperature. On the other side, set in a velvet case, was a necklace half the length of a bicycle chain, encrusted with what appeared to be hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of rubies and diamonds, along with a matching ring and earrings. I looked up at Ben and Dennis. A little something for the missus, Dennis said. He explained that others in the delegation had found cases with expensive watches waiting for them in their rooms. Apparently nobody told the Saudis about our prohibition on gifts. I wondered how many times gifts like this had been discreetly left for other leaders during official visits to the kingdom.
And here you have two different reactions. Actually, by constitution, our government should not be accepting gifts such as jumbo jets, especially to be used as Air Force One. But let's continue. Then the White House has released this fact sheet, which I say it's completely bogus and, may I say, gaslighting. First, they said, well, President Donald Trump secures historic $1.2 trillion economic commitment in Qatar. Now, we need to know that the White House recently released a so-called fact sheet. At first glance, it reads as a straightforward list of economic and defense accomplishments, but if you scratch the surface, it becomes clear. This is less informative document and more carefully crafted piece of political spin. The fact sheet highlights a handful of major contracts, such as Boeing receiving $96 billion order from Qatar Airways and Parsons securing $97 billion in project. These cherry-picked deals are framed as proof that the administration is securing the U.S. jobs. But this narrative glosses over the broader reality. What the document doesn't say is just as important as what it does. These contracts signal a growing dependence on a single foreign country, Qatar, as a primary source of capital for major American industries. Now, even more concerning is the vague language around military cooperation. The White House said that they will be doing a burden sharing at Al Udeid Air Base, and future defense capabilities related to air defense and maritime security will be welcomed. Now, we need to understand that Al Udeid is not just any installation. It's the largest U.S. military base in the Middle East, housing 10,000 American personnel and significant air power. If there's a new arrangement to share this base with Qatar, where is the transparency? Was the Congress consulted? So far, there is no public record that suggests so. Now, the fact sheet ends with this claim: as the dealmaker-in-chief, President Trump's latest achievement in Qatar is another win for America. Now, how is this a win? We are dependent, or we're making our businesses dependent on one investor, in this case, Qatar. In other cases, Saudi Arabia. In other cases, UAE. Also, Saudi Arabia has bought $142 billion worth of military equipment and military aid. And they're also investing in companies producing military aid here. If you may recall, years ago, as the war in Ukraine started, Russians did invest their money into sovereign fund in Saudi Arabia. Could this $142 billion entail or fully be something that Putin has bought through the Saudis? Remains to be seen. I put everything, of course, in our actual news briefing from May 14th, which was yesterday. So go ahead and read it. It's absolutely free. And you can then decide for yourself what you think about it. Now, I want to finish up on the latest. Of course, today, as I mentioned, Trump is on his last leg of the tour in UAE, where he was greeted with a set of virgins swapping their hair to greet him. It's sort of a traditional dance. Take a look. Trump said he loves that. I feel for those White House aides that will have to dance with their blonde extensions to greet him every time they see him, since he liked it so much. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. This was our What's Actually True moment about the Middle East trip. Next video will be about Ukraine-Russia discussion or not in Turkey. So make sure to tune in. Thank you for watching.